This is me 10 years ago. This is me 3 years ago with Russell Brand. If you're wearing oversized, baggy or colourful clothing to hide your figure, so did I for years, and I hated it. I would go to nightclubs and get on drugs, which, if you've taken drugs, you will know that certain drugs make you sweaty. They increase your heart rate. Add to that, you're in a nightclub and you're already sweating even more. It's not a good mix, but it feels comfortable to wear baggy clothing because you don't want to expose your figure. You can see your man boobs in your shirt. You can see your belly in your shirt. You know, I hated seeing myself in photos. I wore colourful cardigans. I wore big oversized t-shirts, and I thought that that was because I looked cool and I loved it, and part of me likes that. But what I realise now after getting in shape is that I can wear a £10 plain black t-shirt from Decathlon, and I'll tell you, I feel more confident in that than I ever have in some oversized, colourful designer clothing. And I'm gonna tell you simply how I did it, and by the end of this video, you will have an idea on how you can eliminate that fear forever and feel better in anything that you wear. And if you wanna talk to me one-on-one about this for free, book a call with the link in my bio, because I'm more than sure that I will have some insights that can help you get there. So, I used to overcomplicate fitness, and I struggled with my body image my entire life, my weight, my appearance. I was bullied in school. I had a group of friends that I was trying so desperately to fit in with, and every single one of them did sports and were athletic and had low body fat. So even at the age of 14, 15, 16, you could see their abs, they had definition on their body. And I was the chubby one. I wasn't into sports. I had inverted nipples, I had man boobs, and I was really white and pale, and they all just seemed so tanned and like this ideal physique and aesthetic that I would have loved to have. But because I was the odd one out, they made fun of me for that, and I would be called fat, chubby. The reality was, like, I wasn't even obese or hugely overweight. I was just different, but that shaped my body image and self-image for years. And when you're in a big group just trying so desperately to fit in and be liked and to be accepted, and that group makes a joke about you being fat or chubby and everybody laughs, that is damaging to your self-esteem. And it says more about how insecure I was at that time that I accepted that and I carried on to be friends with these people. But yeah, that's another story. And I overcomplicated fitness for years, and I thought that due to the situations I were in, that it was genetics. Some people just had that naturally and I could never have that. And then when I left school, you know, you're fed with all this information. We get into social media, we get into all this marketing, and it's like you should go to the gym 5 to 7 days a week. Cardio's the way to lose weight. You need to eat chicken and rice if you want to be in good shape, and all these like fad things that just aren't realistic and that you don't want to really commit to. You know, you can try eating just chicken and rice, but it's not going to last long because it's dry, it's not very enjoyable, and we all love other foods, so you're going to be craving those other things. You can try to go to the gym 5 to 7 days a week, but then once you miss a day, you beat yourself up for it and you feel bad, and then it makes you much less likely to go back. And 5 to 7 days a week for most of us who haven't been into sports our entire lives and haven't been athletic and have never enjoyed going into a gym and lifting weights, like 5 to 7 days a week is very daunting, you know? So simplicity is the only thing that's worked for me, and this is what I teach my clients on my personal training program. And you know, like, the whole basis of this video is how I used to wear oversized clothing to hide my body, and now I don't. And I'm in Montenegro right now, and I jump at an opportunity when the sun comes out to exercise outside topless so I can get sun on my body, so I can feel confident about myself. Like, that is worlds apart from where I were even 3 years ago, you know? Like, I felt embarrassed even taking my shirt off in front of my friends, you know? So the power of this is absolutely transformative, and the things that have worked for me, I'm more than sure can work for you if you're overcomplicating things. So in terms of fitness, first of all, I used to think 5 to 7 days a week. I used to think cardio. None of that worked because I never really saw results. And what it's come down to is two things. First of all is simplicity. So 3 weight training sessions, and when I say weight training, Dumbbells, bench press, barbells, body weight exercises, things focusing on building muscle. And the thing about strength training is that you burn calories anyway, but at the same time, you're breaking down your muscles to build muscle. Cardio is not the only exercise that burns calories. You want to be strength training, burning calories. But the second thing is you want to be tracking every workout. Now, getting a personal trainer for me massively helped that, because he gave me an application, he gave me set workouts and things to stick to every week, and then I could put my numbers and my figures in there, so that every time I came back to the workouts, I knew exactly what I needed to do to get stronger from last session. So tracking is so important, because it's a tangible copy that you're actually getting stronger, and it's a written down formula that you need to follow to keep getting in shape and to keep growing, And now I'm at the point where I've got my own clients and I'm writing their programs, and I'm also writing my own and getting stronger from them. So in terms of training, it's simplicity and it's tracking. In terms of nutrition, people overcomplicate nutrition, and I have overcomplicated nutrition so many times. Like I told you, I've tried eating chicken and rice. Didn't work for me. It was so dry. I just wanted to eat takeout food. And also, I tried many supplements. I tried creatine, I tried protein powders, I tried going vegan at points. I thought that could be healthier. I tried keto, no carbs. I've tried all sorts of different diet fads, but none of those were including my favorite foods and making it actually enjoyable and sustainable and likely for me to stick to it long term. And what works now, again, is simplicity. I still eat a balance and I still eat my favorite foods. I still eat pizzas, burgers, ice cream, but I don't make that the only thing I consume. And I struggled eating growing up. I didn't eat vegetables for years. I didn't cook, I would borrow money from my parents just so I could order takeout food on a night, like doner meat, cheesy chips, all sorts of stuff. And I was in a real mess. But now, I love diets, and every single day I eat food I enjoy because I've tailored it to work for me. And what's working now, for example, is eating 2 burgers every day, but with balance and cooked at home. I get some fresh bread from the supermarket. I put 2 beef burgers on there, loading up on protein. I put some peppers on the side, some nuts, some beans, some cheese. And it's a balance of fibers, fats, proteins, carbs. And it's fueling my body. I'm not putting on weight. I'm building muscle. My body's recovering. But it's such a simple diet, and I absolutely love it, I'm excited to eat that every day. You think I'm ever excited to go and eat chicken and rice when I don't want to? And of course, I switch it up now and again, but if you're focusing on cooking at home and you're focusing on high protein, then you can afford those meals out without feeling so bad about them, and you can afford a little snack and a dessert and a treat. Like after every meal, I have a little dessert, like a bit of chocolate milk or a bit of ice cream or a small muffin. And then I'm not cutting it out completely, but I'm not making the unhealthy foods the center of my diet. So that's not what my body's showing. And the reason that I focus on protein is because your body burns energy, and your body uses energy when it's digesting food, to transfer the nutrients to different parts of your body. But the thing about protein is, your body uses more energy when digesting protein than any other macro, like fat or carbs, for example. So the more protein you eat, the more energy you're using to burn that than any other food. So the more calories you're burning from eating protein. And this is why people say that protein is magical for losing weight and building muscle, because it is. If you're burning more calories when you're digesting protein, then you're losing more weight. And your muscles are built up of proteins, so you're building more muscle. So protein is literally magic. Even when I go out for food, if I'm getting a burger, I'll double up. Just little things like that. If you eat chicken and rice, for example, load up on the chicken. If you have a tuna sandwich for your lunch, add another tin of tuna. Little tips like this and little fixes to up your protein make a massive difference over time. And again, I want to reiterate the fact that I'm telling you what's worked for me. But as somebody that always overcomplicated it and thought that you needed to go to extremes, this is very realistic and simplistic things that you can try and apply that won't overwhelm you. So we've got training, we've got nutrition. I want to add to nutrition before I move on to the final sort of pillar. Nutrition, you need to be aware of the calories that you're consuming. For example, in 1 pint of beer, I struggled with alcohol for a while, and in 1 pint of beer, there's about 300 or 400 calories, and if you're meant to eat around 2,000, 2,500 calories in a day, like, imagine going out and having 10 pints on a Friday night. That's like 3,000 calories. So on top of the food you're already eating, you're consuming an extra day and a half almost worth of calories. So you're gonna pile weight on if you're drinking alcohol, I'm afraid. And that's another whole topic in itself, is stopping alcohol, because I've never been addicted to alcohol as such, but I've definitely had my struggles with it in the past. I've been more addicted to gambling, drugs, porn, that kind of stuff. But yeah, alcohol, snacks like chips are a really easy way to gain weight, you know. And yeah, keep those love handles and make sure you never see your abs. So the last pillar I want to move on to is sleep. Sleep is an absolute super tool. Like, I've heard it described as nature's free steroid before, because it will probably do more for you than most performance enhancing drugs and supplements like creatine and protein powders. Like, when I worked 9 to 5s, I have my own business now, so I'm very fortunate to have the freedom to have my own routines. But when I had 9 to 5 jobs, I would stay up late because I'd come home from work stressed out. I wanted to go on my phone, I wanted to see my friends, so I'd stay up late, but I had to get up again early, you know. I had to get up at 7, 8. So I'd be getting 5 to 6 hours a night, and that just wasn't enough for me at all. I wasn't recovering, my brain wasn't sharp. And the thing about sleep is you burn calories, your brain resets and forms neural pathways, and, you know, gives your brain and body a chance to replenish. Your hormones balance, so you're going to be less likely to crave sugar and unhealthy things the day after. There's so many more benefits, and sleep is just so powerful. And it's accelerated my fat loss, your muscles repair, so you grow more muscle in sleep. And now I get around 8, 9, 10 hours every night. I'm sleeping a bit too much at the minute, but still I get a minimum of 8 hours every night, and that's been so transformative, more than creatine, more than protein powders, more than these diet fads. So the whole basis of this video was to help you realize that you can feel confident in tight fitted clothing, that you don't always have to wear oversized clothing, and that you will feel confident, more confident, wearing tight clothing one day when you feel better about your body, you know. And it takes some time. I'm not going to sit here and say, like, let's transform your entire lifetime of body image issues in 90 days. No, it's something you've got to stick to and commit to and be consistent, and it might take you a year or two to get to where you want to be. I think it probably took me around 1.5 years or 2 years. But I know that investing into a personal trainer and having some kind of plan to stick to that wasn't overwhelming for me is the best thing I ever did. And just constantly communicating and saying, this is not working for me, like, I want to do this different, this is overwhelming me, you know. Like, personal training is personal to you. And although there are many plans online that sell you this dream and it's a specific thing you've got to stick to, like, it should be as personal as possible and something that's going to work for you. And, like, if I would have known at these points, you know, like 3, 4 years ago, 10 years ago, if I would have known at those points that I could get in shape with such simplicity, and I could stop wearing oversized clothing, and I could start to feel confident, like, I would have started right then. But like I said, it took me years of learning, years of mistakes, years of overwhelming myself to have any idea the power of simplicity. So I hope that video has helped you and given you some clarity. And, you know, like, the one of the biggest issues I hear from people is that they are overwhelmed and they don't know what step to take, because they've seen online that fat's bad, or they've seen that they need to work out 5 days a week, or they've seen that ultra processed foods is going to kill them, or they've seen that they should try to be vegan and eat a whole foods diet. Like, there's so many different opinions online, you know, and these days, like, we base things on numbers and aesthetic, and a lot of people are much more likely to believe somebody that has 1 million likes on a video than somebody that has 10. Whereas in reality these days, the person with 10 likes as opposed to 1 million could be the one that you need. And yeah, that's my aim, to be as realistic as possible. Thank you so much for watching again. If you want to book a call and we can discuss for free the next steps that you could take and start feeling better about your body forever and want to be around your partner topless and want to get on a beach topless, then yeah, hit me up and we'll talk. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.